exploited anyway. Not one time when her daughter was murdered and I was helping her navigate the criminal justice system did one Democrat call me to offer their assistance. It was only Republicans, and I am an independent. I vote both ways. So it's insulting. No, please don't speak over me.
Do you owe
Brett,
those families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There is no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have.
Told y'all nobody bought that unapologetic apology. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Model Renaissance Man. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my content. Make sure you are following me on all the platforms above and below. And if you have been enjoying my content and you wanted to consistently be recommended to you, clicking the thumbs up button is how that is done, all right? Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you are still subscribed to the channel, because unfortunately, people are mysteriously being unsubscribed to the channel. We just hit 440,000 subs, people, and it's all because of you and your hard work and you putting the message out there. So I'm grateful of it, and I really do appreciate you guys for all of that. Let's keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we can hit 450 by the end of November. Maybe we can hit 500,000 by the end of this year. Let's see. All right, folks, so let me go ahead and get right on into this. If you guys didn't notice and you didn't see any videos that I've done, I did like 3 episodes of Kamala Harris's interview with Bret Baier, where she completely dropped the ball, completely dropped down in polls because of how disastrous of an interview it was. But what I want to bring you guys' attention to is whenever she had the opportunity, like she so well does, like in these debates, when she looks at the camera, she's going, the American people, she had the opportunity. I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. Check it out.
6 Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungari, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday, campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Brett,
those families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There is no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
To ensure that no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election, because there was a solution, Brett.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.
So what I'm saying is that she had the opportunity to say, I'm so sorry about your loss. I'm so sorry that I thought that what we were doing was in the best interest, and we failed you guys. We shouldn't have did this. We shouldn't have did that. And it's because of that. We are sorry, da-da-da-da-da. She just said, I'm sorry for your loss. That was it. I mean, I can do that right now. I can say it to them, but I'm talking about putting some heart into it, some meaningfulness into it. But instead, I'm sorry for them. But anyway, Donald Trump, that's what she did, deflected from it. Well, one of those young ladies' mom happened to see that so-called apology And here's what she had to say.
To a personal story about the impact of the border crisis during Vice President Harris's interview with Bret Baier. She shifted the blame for the deaths of Americans killed by illegal immigrants who entered the country under her watch and seemed to struggle to give a compassionate response to victims' families, including the mother of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare. She was killed back in June. The suspects, 2 illegal immigrants. Alexis Nungare, Jocelyn's mother, joins us now. I want to play that part of the Bret Baier interview with Kamala Harris in just a moment. But first, I want to say, Alexis, that our prayers are with you. And as the father of a daughter who's about the same age as Jocelyn was when she was killed, I can't even begin to wrap my head around what your family is going through and what poor little Jocelyn went through that night back in June.
Thank you so much for having me here. You know, every day is a new day. It's a constant reminder that she's not here with us. She's not in the grade she's supposed to be in. She's not making new memories like she should. It's been really hard on our family.
Oh, as I said, I just can't even imagine. But earlier this week, in his exclusive interview with Kamala Harris, our Bret Baier asked the vice president if families like yours deserve an apology from her and her administration. This is rather lengthy because it involves some of your testimony before Congress recently, but please bear with us while we play this out.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I am so sorry for her loss, sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
So she says that she is sorry for your loss, but then she shifted Jocelyn's story to Trump. What do you think about that?
I think she's completely full of it. She is not a sincere woman at all. She has no sympathy, no empathy to her. She's supposed to, if she wants to run this country, she needs to take into consideration the families that she has affected with these policies that she has allowed and that she has approved. It's unacceptable that she gave me a very empty, half-open apology to thinking she was being sincere, to just shift like she always does in every interview, every questionnaire she has to somehow shift it over to Mr. Trump, and that makes absolutely no sense. Why can't you just take accountability like you should and actually try to make a difference, maybe be humane and actually reach out to families that you have affected?
So we have been told time and time again by DHS, by the Secretary, by officials at the White House, the border is secure. The illegal immigrants who are being paroled into this country have been vetted. They pose no national security risk to the country. Yet we now find out from investigators that they believe that the 2 illegal migrants from Venezuela, who are allegedly responsible for your daughter's death, were members of the notorious gang Tren de Aragua. Are you wondering, like many other people are, how did they ever get released into this country if that was their background?
It's always made me wonder, yes, because why put a ankle monitor on them in the first place? Was anything noticed? Did anything come abrupt? I always now for sure wonder why did they need one now that this new information has became knowledgeable and has came into the light? It really makes me wonder, why were they released? Why? This should have been something that was immediately thought of, them being Venezuelan natives. And it just proves more that them being what they did so heinous was intentful. And this is the people that we so continuously decide to let in this country because of her open border policies.
The testimony that you and fellow victims of immigrant crime gave before Congress was just so compelling. And then there was this moment where Democratic Congresswoman Veronica Escobar suggested that you and your fellow victims were being exploited with your appearance before Congress. That led April Aguirre, who is a crime victims advocate, to have this exchange with the Congresswoman. Listen here.
It's insulting that you would say that to these families, that you would make an assumption that they're being used or exploited anyway. Not one time when her daughter was murdered and I was helping her navigate the criminal justice system did one Democrat call me to offer their assistance. It was only Republicans, and I am an independent. I vote both ways. So it's insulting. No, please don't speak over me because I'm still talking.
Okay.
I'm not done. I have the mic. I have the floor. I have the floor. If you want to answer me, you ask.
Alexis, what did you take away from that exchange and the fact that the Congresswoman tried to suggest that you all were being manipulated and exploited?
I think it's very inappropriate with it being such a sensitive matter. If I have the option to be used, quote unquote, for how she said, for political gain, for others to get what they want, and then instead choose to have my daughter back and essentially be a nobody, I would always choose that in a heartbeat. I do this to continuously be my daughter's voice. I do this because my daughter fought incredibly hard her last moments of her life. And I will be damned if I don't fight hard the rest of mine for her. I do this because I want to, and because I need to raise awareness, and because we need to make change. This has to stop. We cannot keep burying our children.
Well, you are a powerful advocate for Jocelyn's memory. And again, our heart just breaks for what she went through and what you continue to go through. I don't know how you get up every day and put one foot in front of the other. God bless you, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Now, guys, that part in there where that woman said, I'm an independent. Look at that. She put it out there, and what's crazy, I'm just being real. Look, for her to say that no Democrats called her, none, not one, but then Republicans called her. That says a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Not one. I mean, my God, I don't even know if President Biden or Kamala Harris even went out to go besides themselves and just, even if, I don't care what it is, when they're talking, blah, 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 and I just want to say prayers for the family of Lincoln Riley, and name all of those young women that lost their lives. Anything, nothing, nada, because they do not care. Why would you apologize for something that you intentionally did? I told you guys, if you open up a dam on purpose to allow the waters to come down and flood the town, and somebody say you should apologize for that, well, I'm sorry that people lost their lives in the flood. That's pretty much what that was. It wasn't, I'm so sorry that I made a mistake by opening up the dam that allowed the flood to come in. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I made a huge mistake. No. Well, if Trump wasn't talking about what the dam looked like, we want to open it up and no. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this. I love the way that woman fired back at them and let them know that she was talking and she wasn't done. Yeah, I absolutely love that because she was putting them to shame. Put it in the comments below after this video. And don't forget, the next video that I will do in chronological order most likely will be up here. Things that I do as a variety on this channel will be down there. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.